I'm Tanya and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a vinyasa style class, but it's going to be chaturanga-free, so it's not going to have any traditional sun salutations. It'll be a really friendly class for anyone with any sort of hand, wrist, or shoulder injury, or anyone who just does not like to do 100 chaturangas in a vinyasa class. So don't let the fact that this doesn't have any of those traditional sun salutations fool you into thinking that it's going to be an easy class. We're going to do one kind of longer flow with several poses stacked together. We're going to work up and do a little bit of skill building with some jackknife squats. So there'll be plenty of opportunities to challenge yourself and get in a good yoga practice. So you might find a couple of props, some blocks helpful when we come to the jackknife squats. Other than that, you shouldn't really need any props to get through your practice today. So join me on the mat whenever you're ready. We'll get started in an easy seat. So go ahead and cross your legs. Either leg on top is fine. Lengthen your spine and lightly engage your core just so that you're already nice and supported. You can close your eyes if you'd like to, and we'll just do some simple breath work here. So exhale everything out, and then take an inhale in, filling up through the belly, through the ribs, all the way to the upper chest. Hold at the top, and then exhale everything out, nice and complete. Inhaling in, belly, ribs, chest, hold at the top, and then exhale everything out, nice and complete. A few more like that. Inhaling in, filling up through the belly, through the ribs, up to the upper chest, hold at the top, maybe sip in just a little more air, and then exhale nice and slowly, getting rid of all of the air. Last one. Inhaling in, filling up belly, ribs, upper chest, pause at the top, maybe sip in just a little more air, and then exhale everything out, nice and slowly. All right, from here you can go ahead and flutter your eyes open if you close them, and we're going to crawl our right hand out to the side and sweep our left arm up and lean over to the right. And then come back through the center and other side. Lean over to the left. Come back up through center. Lean to the right. You can gaze up. Come back through center. Lean to the left. Gaze up. And this time when we come to the right, we're going to stay. So right hand's out to the side. Left arm's up. Think about lifting up through the ribs. Gaze up to the ceiling. We'll be here for 3, 2, 1, other side, left hand down, right arm sweeps up, gaze up, look through that right shoulder, and breathe here for 3, 2, 1, come back through to center, and then we're gonna twist. So left hand can come up to the outside of the right thigh, lift the chest, and then think about twisting along the axis of your spine. So twisting through the ribs, through the shoulders, and through the head. Last breath here, and then unwind through center, and then other side. So right hand comes across to the outside of left knee, lengthen up along the spine, and then twist behind you, twisting through about the ribs, through the chest, through the shoulders, and through the head. Last breath here, and then unwind back through, face the front. And then we're going to take a boat pose. So lift your knees, uncross the ankles. You can do a bent knee boat pose to start with, arms by your side, and then lift up through your chest nice and tall. So you should have a nice solid seat here between kind of a tripod with your sits bones and your tailbone. And then last breath here. All right, and then feet can come to the mat, separate the knees, lean forward, and then you're going to separate your feet and take a ragdoll. So you can tick-tock those feet slightly apart, finding about hips width. Grab your elbows, and then release your head and neck down. So if it feels good, you can shake your head, yes or no. Some people like to sway from side to side. Whatever would feel good and natural for you here is perfect. For 3, 2, 1. Releasing your arms down towards the ground. Just bring your fingertips to the ground, kind of in front of your face. You can put a little bend in the left knee, send your right arm up towards the ceiling, take a nice little twist here. Inhale, find a little more length, and then exhale, unwind. Other side, so right fingertips to the ground, bend a little bit in the right knee, left arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift through the shoulder a little bit more,
And then exhale, unwind back down towards the ground. From here, roll up to standing, so try to articulate through the spine here. Going up. Once you come to a stand, you can roll your shoulders up and around and back. And then reverse it, so back and around and front. All right, we're gonna find a mountain pose kind of in the middle of the mat, so not quite as far forward as you traditionally would. And then inhale, we'll take a half sun salutation to start with, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, dive down. Fingertips can come to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, let's separate the feet about hips width apart. Turn the heels and toes out, and we're gonna take a malasana squat. So bend down nice and deeply. I'm gonna spin to face you. You can stay where you're at. And you're gonna slide the back of your arms on the inside of your legs and give them just a little bit of pressure, so something to push into. I wanna be careful of your knees here, make sure they're not rocking forward, and the same with the arches of your feet. So think about opening up through the knees, lifting up through the arches of the feet, and breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands can come down. Lift the hips, parallel the feet. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart center. I'm just going to spin to face the front of my mat. Mountain pose, feet together. Now we'll start with those modified salutations. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, fingertips to the ground. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward, and then come down onto your knees. You can bring your hands up to your hips. You can make fist for wrist, placing them behind. We're gonna find a camel pose, so lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders up and around, open the chest, camel pose. Use your core, lift your shoulders back up, cross your ankles, send your bottom back, and find your boat pose. Breathing here for 5, 4, it can be bent knee or straight leg boat, whatever you'd like. 2, 1. From here, we're gonna rock up to stand. So if you need a little rock and roll action to start with, you can. Otherwise, feet to the ground, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we're gonna do that one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and then come down onto your knees. Lift the chest, palm our fist for wrist to the back of your lower back. Inhale, open up, find a little camel pose. And then exhale, realign your spine, use your core, cross your ankles, and sit back, boat pose. Breathing here. Lift the chest for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you need that momentum, I'll show you. You can tuck your knees, give yourself a rock and roll so you've got some more momentum to come up and stand forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, arms sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we're gonna add on quite a bit this time for our flow. So arms come up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. All right, from here, come down onto those shins, onto your knees. We've got the camel pose. Hands behind your hips. Lengthen up, open the chest. Use your core, realign your spine, cross your ankles, boat pose. We'll be here this time just for 3, 2, 1. Okay, from here, we're gonna find a low lunge. So tuck your left leg in, nice and tight. Roll up and over that shin, and then right foot's forward, and then kick the left leg back, and we've got a low lunge with our knees on the ground. Once you're up here, make any adjustments that you need to. Be careful that you're not putting too much strain on this ankle, so your foot should be a little further in front of your right knee. Hands can be anywhere that feels good, so come to your hips, onto your thigh, or you can even bring them overhead. Think about shifting the hips forward, but keeping the back nice and long, so tailbone is working to feet down. Last breath here. And then we're gonna move into a half split. So hands can come back to your hips if you'd like to. Shift the weight back and think about drawing the right hip back. So if you want a little bit of balance, you can bring your fingertips down. That's normally that
too much pressure on the hands or the wrists. If that is creating a little bit of strain for you, you can leave your hands to your hips. Breathing here, keep this right foot flexed. Inhale, find a little bit of length in your spine. And exhale, maybe lower down a little bit more. Think chest to quad. Full and complete inhales and exhales for 3, 2, 1. Lift the chest up, shift your weight forward, back into this low lunge. This time we're gonna lift the left knee up off the ground. So weight into this right leg, lift the left knee, use this left quad to help you do that. And then we're gonna lean forward, extend your left arm forward, and extend your right arm forward. Breathing here. So think length between your heel and your fingertips. Shoulders are in their home. So sometimes when we reach forward, we shrug our shoulders up, but keep those where they're supposed to be. Last breath. And then lift all the way up, regular crescent lunge. Breathing here. Think about rotating or drawing rather these last couple of ribs towards each other. So our last couple of rib bones, they float, and so we can really use our core muscles to draw them together to help activate the core here. Last breath. And then bring your hands parallel to the ground and big sweep open with your right arm to the back for a nice twist. So take a peek at your legs, make sure that you didn't go all cattywampus. So hips are still neutral, right leg is still bent. The twist is happening just in the upper body. Last breath here. And then we'll reverse it. Right hand comes down the back of the left leg, left arm up, lean, and look maybe towards the back left corner of your mat. Breathing nice and steady. Left quad is active, helping you to stay up. Last breath. And then unwind back to a crescent lunge. Inhale here. And exhale, open up, warrior 2. All right, once you open up, adjust any stance that you need to. You can widen it, you can shorten it. You're looking to get your knee about over your ankle. Chest is open and gaze towards the front. For 3, 2, 1. We're gonna move into a side angle. So you can do right hand to the quad, left arm towards the front of the mat, and then lift up through this left shoulder and gaze up towards the ceiling. So these left ribs are rotating up, and then you're reaching long forward and then pressing down through the pinky toe side of your left foot. For 3, 2, 1. Come back into warrior 2. Let's reverse it just for a breath. And then back to warrior 2 again. All right, straighten the right leg. That should feel pretty good. We're moving into a triangle pose. So if you like to shorten your stance a little bit, you can TikTok that back leg in. Then lift your left hip, lean forward, and then right hand come down to the shin or to a block, left arm up towards the sky. Breathing here. For 3, 2, 1. Bring your gaze down to the mat. We're going to move into a half moon pose. Now, if you've got a really sensitive hand or wrist, you can stay here in a triangle pose. Otherwise, try half moon with just your fingertips. So weight shifts into your right leg, fingertips down to the ground, and then lift your left leg up, open through the left hip. Now, I've got just 2 fingers to the ground. Oops, and I'm losing my balance. All right, from here, you can try staying here, or you can maybe even float this right arm up off the mat for 3, 2, it's always fun to see your teacher fall. 1, all right, bend into this right leg, we're gonna find a goddess squat. Heels in, toes out, goddess squat. Bend nice and deeply, arms can be cactus or heart center, whatever you prefer. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. From here, back to warrior 2, and then back to this crescent lunge. So lift the left heel, find nice neutral hips, and then left knee down, right knee comes back, hands to your hips. We've got that camel pose. Inhale, camel pose. Exhale, realign your spine, cross the ankles, and find your boat pose. All right, we'll breathe here in our boat pose before we take the other side for 3, 2, 1. All right, other side. So right leg tucks down, shin to the mat, roll up and over. left foot steps forward, low lunge. So extend this right leg back, and then once you're up, make any adjustments that you need to. So I've got left hand to quad to start with, weight shifting forward, lower back is nice and long. So even though we're shifting our weight forward, we're also scissoring our legs together, that we were activating both the front and back of the legs. You can stay here, our arms can come up overhead. Breathing. Last breath. All right, hands can come to your hips. We're going to shift the weight back, half split. So hands can stay here on your hips. If you need a little bit of balance work, fingertips can come down to the ground. Flex your front foot, lengthen your spine, inhale, and exhale, hinge forward a little bit. Think chest to quad. Doesn't really matter where your head is. You want it to stay in line with your spine. So we're avoiding this rounding down to try and touch the shin. Instead, keeping ourselves flat and active. Breathing here. Last breath. All right, shift forward. We're finding that low lunge again. This time, right knee's going to come up off the floor. Right quad powers you up. Lean forward. Extend your right arm. And then extend your left arm. Breathing here. For 3, 2, 1. Lift your chest, regular crescent lunge. All right, so if you need to adjust anything, you can. Otherwise, nice deep bend in this left leg. Right quad is powering you up. Hips are working to be neutral to each other. Breathing here. Last breath. And then hands come parallel to the ground. And left arm sweeps you back and open into this twist. So hips stay neutral, so think about right hip is still drawing back. Twist is happening through about the rib cage and then through the shoulders. And then finally the head can go. Last breath here. And then we'll reverse it. Left hand can slide down the back of the right leg. Right arm up. Gaze towards the back corner of your mat. Last breath. All right, unwind, crescent lunge. Inhale here. And exhale, open up, warrior 2. So left foot is forward, right foot is back, warrior 2. Open up through the hips, and then shoulders are in line over those hips. So they're also open to the side of the mat. And then it's just our gaze that is forward. Breathing here, nice and steady. All right, from here, side angle. So left hand can, or left forearm can come down to the left quad. Right arm comes up to the ceiling. Lift up through those ribs and the shoulders. Breathing here. Last breath. All right, lift yourself up back to warrior 2. One breath, reverse the warrior. And then back, warrior 2. All right, straighten the left leg. We've got that triangle pose. So if you need to shorten your stance a little bit, you can. Lift the right hip, lean forward. Left hand down to the shin, right arm up to the sky. Breathing here. For 3, 2, 1. Bring your gaze down towards the ground. We're making our way into that half moon. So see if you can do just fingertips to the ground. Weight shifts into the left leg. Right leg comes up. Flex the foot and stack the hip. Stay here, or if you'd like to play, you can float this left arm up off the ground. For 3, 2, 1. Bend this leg. Come back. We're going to land in a goddess squat. All right, I redeemed myself with my half moon on this side, so that's good. Last 2 breaths here. All right, transitioning back through warrior 2. And then right hand down and around. Come on, find a full crescent lunge. So hips are neutral, and then right knee down, left knee to meet it. Hands can make fist for wrist. Come to your lower back. Inhale, lift up, camel pose. Exhale, engage the core, realign the spine, cross the ankles, boat pose. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. All right, so from here we're going to find some jackknife squats. So we're going to play a little bit. So it can be helpful to have a little bit of rocking motion. Sometimes if you are getting stuck, the blocks can be helpful. So you may want to go ahead and have those handy, one on each side of your hips to give you a little bit of lift. Okay. So otherwise, from this boat pose, you're going to tuck your knees and we're going to shift our weight into our left leg. You're going to extend your right leg long and then see if you can lift your butt up off the ground. Sometimes it helps to grab that foot or the shin and then sit down and switch sides. So right leg down, left leg up, lift. All right, so some people find it helpful to do a little bit of rocking. I'm just gonna move my block so I can see you guys, or so you can see me rather. All right, so you're gonna rock. That gives you a little more momentum. Left foot down, right foot up. All right, other way, rock, right foot down, left foot up. Okay, we'll do 2 more. Left foot down, right foot up. And again, rock, right foot down, left foot up. All right, so you can stay here, or you can see if you can come up to a standing split. So fingertips can come to the ground, and again, those blocks might be helpful to give you a little more lift. Weight is all on the right foot, and then sit-ups or stand up, sweep this left leg up and back, standing split. Once you're up, you can point the foot. Try and keep the hips neutral. Lift up to the standing right leg. Now I've got very minimal pressure on my hands here. My fingertips are just to the ground for balance. If you wanted to, you could grab your ankle. All right, we're gonna come back out of this, flex the left foot, sweep this left foot down, brush it by the right foot, and then take your seat into this jackknife squat. Once you're here, sit all the way down. We're gonna take a little twist between sides. So right leg's gonna come up and cross over the left leg. Then gather the right leg up in this left arm and lengthen up and twist behind you. Breathing here. For 3, 2, 1. Unwind back to center. Uncross this right leg over from the left. And then we're going to go onto the other side. So if you want that rock, you can rock. And then left foot's down, right leg's long in front of you. This jackknife squat. Hands can come down, and then we're going to come up to standing split if you want to. So all your weight into this left leg. Lift up through the pelvic floor. Right leg sweeps up and back. Standing split. Once you're here, lift up through the standing knee. And if you need to, you can grab your ankle with one or both hands. Last breath. All right, and then right foot flex, sweeps down past your left, bend in the left leg, and come back to this jackknife squat. All right, and then butt to the mat, right leg down, and then we're gonna take that twist. So left leg up and over the right, gather the left knee up in your right arm, lengthen and twist. Breathing here. For 3, 2, 1. Unwind back through to center. Release that. Let's take a boat pose. Take a breath. All right, then we're going to do a couple of camels here. So just cross the ankles, shins to the mat, come up onto your knees, and then untuck the toes. So for camel pose, toes curled under is generally a little more stable, so you can start there. You want your knees about hips width apart. Spine is nice and long. Let's lengthen up. Inhale. And then exhale, open the chest. Try and keep the hips forward. Open the chest back. You can do fist for wrist. Breathing here in your camel for 3, 2, 1. Use your core, lift your chest back up. And then just release your toes and take a seat. All right, we're gonna do 2 more camels like that. The next one, if you'd like to, you can release your hands down towards your heels. 1 breath here. All right, sit back up. Again, your choice, toes curled under for a little more stability, or released out if that feels better for you. You can start with your hands on your hips this time. Inhale, lift up, lengthen the chest, keeping the hips pressed forward. Open up through the chest, and maybe release your hands down towards your heels. And when you do that, you want to keep the hips forward and breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Lift your shoulders up evenly. So that's your core that helps you come back up. And then just take a seat. Counter pose is just a seat here. Last breath. All right, you've got 1 more. So camel pose of your choice. Come back up. You can do again, toes curled under or released. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Unwind the shoulders. Hips stay forward. Chest opens up to the ceiling. Stay here or release your hands down to your heels. or anywhere along your back legs or even to blocks. We'll hold here for 3, 2, 1. Engage your core, lift your shoulders, come up to a seat. Then release your toes, sit down. All right, good job. A couple of breaths here. All right, and then we're gonna find a butterfly pose. I'm gonna spin to face you. You can sit any direction you want. We'll just do a butterfly pose. So soles of the feet together, knees nice and wide. If you have those blocks handy and you wanna put them under your knees for support, that's fine. Let's sit up nice and tall, grab your big toes, and then just tuck your chin down. Breathing here. Last breath. All right, lift your chin. And then from here, we're gonna take a wide leg seat. So just extend the legs nice and wide. Think about lifting them up, so the inseams of your pants reaching up towards the ceiling. You can flex your feet or you can point your feet, whatever feels good for you. Think about lengthening the spine. And then from here, just walk the hands forward. So only go as far as you can go and keep the chest nice and long and the legs rotating up. For me, that's pretty far. But for most people, it's much higher than this. You can keep the arms nice and long. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Walk the hands back in, lift the chest. You can bend the knees, bring the legs together, and come down onto your back. All right, once we're here, we'll take a figure 4. So extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Externally rotate it, bend the knee, and bring the right leg on top of the left. Thread the needle and pull the legs in. Keep both feet flexed. Just keeps all the muscles in the legs nice and active. Breathing here. Last breath. All right, releasing that. Uncrossing the right leg into the other side. Left leg extends long. Externally rotate at the hip. Bend the knee. Ankle on top of the right thigh. And then pull both legs in towards the chest. Keep both feet nice and flexed. Breathing here. All right, releasing that, uncross your left leg, and then go ahead and grab your block and we'll take a waterfall pose. So lift the hips, slide the block underneath your hips, and extend your legs up towards the ceiling. If you don't have a block, you can use a book or a pillow or anything just to get your hips elevated over your chest for a little bit. Arms can come down by your side. Feet can be flexed, or if you'd like to, you can run through some alternating flexes and points with the feet. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Go ahead and put the feet on the mat. Lift your hips, remove your block. And then just make your way into shavasana. So extend your legs nice and long. Arms can be anywhere that's comfortable. Go ahead and shimmy your shoulders. Make sure your shoulder blades are nice and supportive. Go ahead and do the same with your hips. Make sure everything feels good. And then once you're comfortable, just kind of flop open. So just allow the ground to support you here. Allow the brain to relax and enjoy a few moments in your shavasana. And I will leave you here to enjoy as much time as you'd like in your shavasana. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.